Hello once again guys, and thank you for tuning in our second chapter of our tutorial series. So in this chapter we're going to discuss is the basics of Blender, and we're going to model an environment. We're also going to discuss the basics of UV mapping and the basics of texturing. Also, we're going to discuss on how are we going to import our custom 3D assets and textures in Unity. So let's start. So open your project. By the way, for those who are first timers in our tutorial series, this is our project before, as discussed in our chapter 1. So it's just a simple look around VR app. Let's just wait Unity for him to load there. It's just a simple VR app in which you can look around with these cubes. So let's try to make it look better compared to these cubes. So let's start by opening Blender. So I have here is the default setting, a default view of Blender. So in the first time opening a project, you will see these 3 objects. Now in Blender, this is the camera, this is your light source, and this is your model. We can also see it here, what objects are in our current scene. So in developing our 3D assets, we won't be needing a camera, and let's just leave it here and make sure we are on Blender Render. So in this tutorial, we're going to try to make a simple 3D house and a small some kind of terrain. So start by creating a plane. Press Shift A, select plane, and press S to scale it up like that. Zoom in, zoom out by your mouse wheel, and click tab, and you'll go to your edit mode and press W, subdivide, W again, subdivide, W again, subdivide. So now try to select a center. Press O. Oh, by the way, in selecting an vertices or an object is simply do it by right-clicking your mouse, as you can see it here. So select the center. Press O. There, O, and select it here. Select random. Try to grab by pressing G. Press Z to grab it along the Z axis, and let's try to increase this size of our control. So mouse wheel will do, and drag it up like that. Let's increase it more. There. Again, select it here. Go to smooth. Like that. There. So we have a simple terrain. So let's try to make a house. Start by adding a cube. So Shift A, add cube, drag it up here. By the way, you can do this by pressing your mouse wheel, and this by pressing Shift and mouse wheel. So let's start to scale this up first. There. Let's drag it a little bit down. There. I think this is not the bad place for a house. Let's try to model this. Let's try to even some of the places here. That will do, I think. There. scale this down, drag it to Z, grab it to Y, so G plus Y. Then let's go to edit mode and try to make a simple house here. Start by selecting these top vertices. Let's grab it, so press G. On Z axis, so press Z. There. Make sure you disable this, so press O. There. So we have a tall cube here, and let's try to subdivide by pressing Ctrl R and mouse wheel up. There. Once again, let's try to divide it here. Put it in this corner here, on this edge here, and it will do the cutting on a horizontal manner. So let's click mouse 1, adjust down right there, and let's try to make another one right here. Press A to deselect and click here to select the face. Press X to delete and select faces. Press this edge selection. Press Alt and right click, and press E. Press Y and drag it along the Y axis, and press mouse 1 and then press F. There. So we have a house there. Now, since we're done with that, let's try to make a window here. So press Ctrl R, mouse wheel up, and press escape, and press size, so S, along the Y axis like this. There. And let's try to delete this both for our windows. And select it once again by pressing Alt select, extrude, grab it, press escape and grab, press G to grab along the X axis right here will do. Same goes here, extrude, press E, escape, press G to grab along the X axis, press X, and there. Okay, I think that would do. So let's try to select this here and press F. Same goes here, so Alt, right click, press F, and let's try to add some details here. So select, go to edit mode, select this face selection mode, and right click on this face here. Now shift S and cursor to selected, so that will bring your 3D cursor to the center of this face. Okay, so deselect by pressing A, and let's try to add a cube. Scale it down. Okay, and let's try to size it along the Z axis, and let's try to duplicate it, or we could just divide this into two right here. So Control R. So let's resize it along the Z axis. There you go. And deselect by pressing A. Click again this face selection mode, and click this face here. So click, press down shift, press down mouse wheel. Press down shift, sorry. Press down shift. Let go of shift, press your mouse wheel, press down shift, and your mouse wheel, press it down also. So let's try to select the face here. So press down shift again, right click, and press E, escape, press S, and Y. We'll scale it up along this axis. So we'll have this some sort of support for windows. So after that, press tab to go to your 3D view. I think that's good. And once again, press tab to go to edit mode. Press L with the face selection on this face here, and press Shift D, press escape, press R, press Z, and type 180. Or it's the same lang pala. So anyways, let's continue. So let's drag it along the x-axis. So press G, X. Oops. Let's try to run. There. There you go. So once you have that, let's try to make the door. Same process. Select this door. Shift S because cursor is selected. And let's try to add a cylinder. Reduce this to 8 and rotate by pressing R along the x-axis, and type in your keypad 9 and 0. So rotate it in a 90-degree and press enter. There, our cylinder is rotated. So scale it down by pressing S. There you go. Let's try to move it along the X there. Yeah, if you want to go to the wireframe mode, just press Z and you will see everything. Anyways, let's continue by selecting this. There you go. That will add some sort of a door. Grab this here a little bit more. Okay, so we have a simple house there, and let's try to add a roof. So let's try to add a loop cut. So Control R, press mouse 1, do that, raise it up here, and let's try to select, press edge selection and alt right click, select this, and alt shift right click to select this also. Once that's selected, press this face selection and sorry. Let's try to select faces only. So shift right click. No. Let's do this. Select this here and here. Let's press Y. So extrude it to Y. So press E, escape, and resize it along the Y axis. So press S and Y. Right here. So we have a roof. Now let's try to drag this up here. So select that and select that. Oops, sorry. Okay, that will do. And select this, extrude, press E, resize it on the x-axis. There. Now select the faces here, press the space bar and type bridge edge loops. Sorry, it's wrong. Why is this not working? Okay, sorry, my mistake, my bad. So let's end now. Let's try to select the vertices here. Press F as well as here. And let's do this on the other parts of the house. There. Once again, you've noticed that some part of the model is not having the same color as the other faces. Now, what's happening here is the normals is on reverse. So just to make sure, select all of by pressing A and press Control N, and it will renew all the normals there. Okay, select this, press your C. Press Z, press C, and select the edges of our roof. Same goes here. Make sure that the edges only are selected, and let's try to drag it down like that. There you go. It's a house. So now we have a house. Let's try to make some trees. So simple trees, a lollipop tree. Let's first add a cylinder. Drag it along it here. Grab it along the Z axis. Resize it. Grab it on the Z. Resize it on the Z axis also. Let's try to drag it up like that. Go to edit mode. Select the edge. Press A to deselect all. Alt and right click to select. Press S to resize. That. So we have a bark. So let's try to add a tree here. So start S and cursor to select it. Shift S and cursor to selected. And let's try to add, so Shift A icosphere. There you go. And resize it. So press S like that. There you go. That's a tree. So let's duplicate this by pressing Shift D. So Shift D, press G. Press Y. Press G again, and grab it down. So press GC, and let's try to put this along the environment. There you go. I think that's done. Now once we have that, let's try to add some colors to it. So first, before that, let's try to make this as a one object so that we can bake it after. So select all, or you could just select all. So press A and shift right click on the sun. Right click first on the house. House, yes. And shift right click all of the threes. And the last part will be your ground. So shift right click. Press spacebar and type join. So this will make it as a single object. There you go. So when we go to edit mode, this will have it. And let's try to assign materials for it. So start by going here and click new. Let's try to add this as ground. So another material we're going to make is house base color, house base. Next is house roof, house window, house window support, house doorknob, and tree bark, tree leaves. So go to your edit mode, select your house, and shift and right click here, also on the other side, and click house base here and click assign. Oh wait, no, again, sorry. So let's start by adding seams. So alt right click, shift alt right click, select this edge here, press Ctrl E and mark seam. Make sure you're in face selection mode, so click this and press L, and there the selection will be separated. So let's assign this on our house roof. So assign, there you go. House base is here, house base. Click your house base and click assign. Again here, this are our house window support, so select this by pressing L and assign it on the material house window support, assign. And house window will be this, so right click, simply right click this face here and shift and right click again to select both faces and try to add to assign this to house window. Okay, once it's done, let's proceed to house doorknob. Sorry, wrong spelling. Select doorknob by pressing L, assign. Now once the house is done, let's try to select the trees, so press L again, select them all, and assign. Tree leaves also, so assign, press L, 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 and again L to select the leaves and assign. There you go. Now once that's done, let's try to check. So ground, select ground. Oh, so once if ever you're having this problem, just deselect this ground, so by pressing A and selecting this only by pressing L, and just select this and assign ground. And let's try to assign this on our tree leaf. So when we try to select, it will not be selected along with the others. So once we have that, let's try to make this. So this is the basic of UV and unwrapping. So start by splitting your window. Sorry, I didn't show you how to do that. By clicking this and drag it along the left to your left, sorry, and go down here and select your UV image editor and press once you're here, try to right click your object, your 3D object, and press tab and press A again, and press U and click Smart UV Project and put an island margin of 0.02. So there you go. So these are UVs. So these are 2D representation of your 3D model. So this is act somewhat like a skin to your 3D object. So let's start by adding new image. Let's make it full HD, so 1920 by 1920, and let's say environment texture. Okay. Now we need to set up our a simple light. So go to your scene and select your light. Go down here and press ray shadow. Let's increase the samples to 5 and try to increase the soft samples into 2. Once that's done, let's try to add color. So our ground should be color green. House base would be color blue, like that. House roof is more like a yellow, will do, like that. House window will be fully white. So assign this to our window. Window support. Press A to deselect. Press L to select. And click assign with window support. There. So once this window is white, Windows support should be the same color as our roof. Oh, let's try to make a doorknob. Select the object and assign our cylinder. Sign, and let's make it red. Right there. Now tree bark. Oops, our tree's gone red. Something's wrong. Select once again our tree barks. And assign is as tree bark. There you go. So go to tree bark and let's try to color this a yellowish reddish brown. There you go. And tree leaves once again it's dark green. Like that. So once our scene is done, let's try to set up a basic light. So if you press Shift Z, it will render how your scene will look like. So let's try to do a better version of this by pressing this here and select ambient occlusion. There you go. Start by let's try to decrease our ambient occlusion. There you go. Okay. Now once our scene is done, select it, press tab, press A. Is in your second split window. Look at it. Press the camera here. 16 and increase the compression to better quality and go here. This has nothing to do with our baking. And select full render and press bake. Now what will Blender do is he is trying to draw what's going to render here to your 2D image. Once that's done, I think it's done. Yes. Yep, I think it's done. So select image, save as image, and let's try to put it in our here. chapter 2. And let's name this environment texture is good. And save this. But before saving is to leave only one material. So let's try to do this all. Environment. There you go. So save it. This is my environment. Sorry, I misspelled it wrong. So once it's done, save the Blender file, close Blender. Now, let's go back to our scene. So, let's start by deleting these cubes and this plane. Click them all. Press delete. Let's try to add our assets. So, go to our folder. Here are they. So drag, drop. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's just wait for Unity to load. Sorry. I think Unity crashed. Oh wait. Oh, there you go. So once that's done, go to your chapter and you can see it here. Double click on this version and open. Now once again, select the object and press Ctrl A, annotation and scale. This will reset all the changes you've made into a default value of your model. So that's it. Save it again, Ctrl S. Save, press mouse 1. Close Blender and it will automatically update here. So let's try to drag it along the scene and move it to 0, 0. Zoom out. Okay. Notice that shadow effect. It's good. But let's increase never mind. Let's try to put our camera somewhere here. So select your DAV camera, press this Y arrow, so left click, drag it up, drag it on the Z axis, so click or drag, and let's try to run it. This looks good. Now, you've noticed that there are two sets of shadows here. Now, this is controlled by our directional light, so if we change our rotation, it will be dynamically adjust. Now with that, we will not be using shadows because this is heavy for mobile. So click your directional light or any light source and go to your shadow type and no shadows. And there you go. Now, these are not real time. This is what we've done is we bake the textures on Blender with shadows. Unfortunately, these are static objects and it will only be static. You can't interact with it. So since we're done, let's start to play. Ooh. So we have now our first environment. So see how easy it does. Unity just automatically put the texture on our 3D model. But if you want to do it manually, so you must first add the texture here in the albedo level. So it's here. it says environment texture PNG. So when you select this and simply drag it along here, and it will do the trick. Try to reduce the shininess and increase the metallicness. No, I'm just joking. Let's try to make it brighter, like that. Okay, let's try to play. Okay, that's much better to look at compared to the other one. Alright, so that would be all for today. On our next tutorial will be more on the technical side, so let's try to add interactions with it. So hope you enjoy, hope you learn something, and please leave a like or comment down and subscribe for more tutorial videos. Thank you and goodbye.